All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed checking out numbers 15 through 11. I went and got myself a little water. I'm ready to get back into this. So we're going to start off with number 10 this time around. So let's get right into it. Thank you guys for rocking with me, the goods. And this is the continuation of the top 15 NBA 2K announcements in history prior to NBA 2K20. At number 10, had a hard time with this one. It probably could have been a little lower on the list, but it just came so left field. It just came out of nowhere. NBA 2K17 Park After Dark announcement. Now, I first saw this trailer on Shakedown's channel. This announcement came, I don't know where it came from. Came out of nowhere, basically. I'm not even sure who even asked for a Park After Dark. Like, it was a cool setting because, well, at least from the trailer, it looked like a cool setting because I thought I could see like female character models in the crowd, and the park always had all male models. Like, this whole game is just a bunch of guys walking around, and people are like so addicted to this game. I always thought it was weird that they didn't have female ballers, but anyway, thought it was cool. I was like, oh, okay, let's see what this is about. But once the actual event dropped, of course, I think it took a few months for the actual event to come about, but the event itself was kind of lackluster. But the announcement of the event, since it just came out of nowhere, I had to include it in my top 10 because it was just like, oh, okay, there's an idea that, you know, there's an original idea from 2K that nobody thought of. Park After Dark. Okay, party scene and some basketball. 3-point contest, dunk contest. Okay. But anyway, that is number 10. So now that you guys are comfortable, let's really start digging in here. Number 9, NBA 2K10 Draft Combine and NBA 2K10's announcement of myplayer. All right, guys. So first and foremost, I gotta say this announcement really should have been higher on the list. But the reason that it couldn't be higher on the list is because NBA 2K's social media presence was definitely way lower back in 2K10. Like the marketing and their presence in the industry and NBA circles was a lot lower tier back in NBA 2K10. And I think at that point in 2K10, like 2K was maybe neck and neck with Live, or maybe they were a little bit above Live at that point, but they hadn't like completely taken off as the premier video game. So people didn't really get a chance to get as hype about this one. But the Draft Combine, and it basically was a demo, but also its own standalone mini game type thing. It was so dope. A Draft Combine, you get to go on the combine, perform, level up. I mean, this was crazy. And the fact that it led into the very first iteration of myplayer. And you guys gotta remember, before this point, we never had a mode that was strictly dedicated to us and our player, that one guy that we wanted to develop. We never could live out as that one guy, myplayer. So that's why I think this one has to go in the top 10. And of course, above number 10, it is at number 9. It is the announcement of the NBA 2K10 Draft Combine. Also, I'm putting 2 in 1. Also, the announcement of the very first myplayer. All right. Coming in at number 8, we've got NBA 2K18. I don't know. Some of you are probably going to disagree with this one. It's the announcement of the double archetype system. Now, the reason why I have this one so high is because, yes, we kind of don't want it now, but you guys, I don't know if you guys remember. I blatantly remember people asking for double archetype. The thing was, before we had the archetype system, it was good. It was all gravy, you know. But once we got the archetype system, it felt limited, and I think most of the community would agree that we all felt like, okay, well, we know the archetype system isn't going anywhere, and at least if we're going to have it, we should at least be able to make our player do multiple things. People wanted double archetypes. People wanted this, and that is exactly what we got. And I remember this being so hyped because everybody was putting together lists on like Reddit and Twitter. People were uploading all kinds of guides to, you know, create your archetype on Google Drive, and people were uploading their links to their guides to choose your archetype, who will be the best archetype. Like, there were so many people putting together best build videos, and this might be the double archetype thing. I don't know. You guys correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. The double archetype thing might have been what started the best build, those best build videos, because it was double archetype. Before that, you know, you didn't have to say the best build. You could just say, oh, okay, well, you better make sure you get a sharpshooter. Sharpshooters are demigods, or, you know, or whatever you would say. But once we got double archetype, it was just like best build, best build, best build. Even before the game dropped, everybody wanted to know what was the best archetype for them. Oh, okay, how many grand badges does this one have, or how many badges does this one have? And so that announcement itself was followed by so much hype, and everybody wanted to know, like, okay, which archetype am I choosing as my primary and my secondary? So even though we might downplay it now, at the time, people were like, whether they liked it or not, they were like really, really, really anticipating this double archetype system. Couldn't wait to see, okay, is it good? Is it bad? What's going to happen, you know? So that is why that one comes in at number 8. Number 7, some say 2 heads are better than 1. We're talking NBA 2K17, My Career, Orange Juice. In NBA 2K17, we were introduced to an entirely new concept for My Career. The mechanism called Orange Juice allowed you to take over not only your player, but also play as your teammate just as young whenever the two of you got hot. This was a completely dope concept in my opinion, because this year's storyline was not really over the top, and it wasn't really too corny at all. So the storyline was just right, and the announcement of the fact that you could have a dynamic duo was superb. Unfortunately, the feature was never seen again, but the announcement itself was a very dope concept, and that's why this lands at number 7 on the list. So we find ourselves back here again. Now we are rounding out the second group of 5 in this list with number 6. I gotta take NBA's 2K14 announcement of My Park. Now this right here for an NBA game was definitely revolutionary. We were taking a blacktop and expanding it to where you could have 100 players out there in the environment at once. The concept was super dope at the time, especially since we had the quote unquote next gen graphics. I mean, this was super dope. You go out, you repping your clothes, you would have your clothes, you would have your guys with you. I think the 3-on-3 videos for the NBA 2K14 My Park were the best. But just the announcement of My Park, I mean, there will be several courts, hundreds of players. You get on the spot, you call next. Man, it seemed all dope. It was very different from just loading right up into a 3-on-3 setting like we had in the prior generations consoles. So My Park comes in at number 6. All right, guys, I'm gonna take another quick little break. Then we getting right back into it. This time we get into the top 5 announcements ever in 2K history prior to NBA 2K20.